Oh yeah, let's party. We're going to have a great time with all of these new chums for me to meet. These guys aren't very interactive, are they? There may not be that many chums. That guy's still asleep? How is he still asleep? Hello, you've been sitting here all day. I have a hat now.
Sweetie.
You know, see that I have a hat now? But like, I've really grown up while I've been gone. Does she have legs? Yeah, she has legs. They're just dark and far away. All about money, you know. I'm a little worried about you, dude. It's been all day now. Wiki wiki? No. You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in the ship's engine room. He probably has. You have fun then. I think one last thing to do before sleep would be to sing karaoke. Except they might be mad about me singing karaoke, but like, my soul. Right, I need to barter.
Can I help you?
If I'm going to try to barter my rent, I definitely need to do that before karaoke. About the money I owe. Yes, have you got it? I was wondering if we can come to some sort of arrangement for tonight. Does the arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owed me? Kim is about to say something. Let him. He adjusts his glasses. I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business. Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking and... He stops mid-sentence. I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it? Not until you bring me my money. Okay. He turns to you with a heavy sigh. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here. A gun? Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. It's about the money I owe you. How much do I owe you again? Fuck! I thought that was a lot more doable than that. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window. 130 real. Wow. That's not great. Pay for damages. Kim has offered help. Go to his motor carriage in front of the whirling. Yeah. That's not great, all things considered. I thought, wow, you know, I got some more money at first, because I was feeling pretty good about myself. At first, I only had like $1. Now I've got like $20. I'm like, damn, this went up exponentially. But I need to go up exponentially again, basically. 130 real. Shit. I only make like 5,000 a year or something, so like this is a big expenditure. But I was also an idiot. Damn you past me, always fucking things up before games start. But that's all we're getting today. And I was all hyped about this crowded room, but can't talk to any of these people. So much for crowded room. Still, I'm not trying to beg money from people around the establishment. Although who knows, since they all hate cops, maybe it's endearing if you're a cop that needs money. And they're like, oh, look at the stupid idiot. Aw, he's harmless. So what's in the carriage? I have something here we could sell. Look at the back. In the suspect transport enclosure. Transport enclosure? Regular people just call it the cage. What's in the suspect transport enclosure? Is it a suspect? The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark. I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. What are those things? They are spinner hubcaps. Frivolous things you put on your wheels when the wheels come to a stop. He makes the spinning motion with his hands. The caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them. They're just for vanity. Those used to be around everywhere. I don't remember them the last time I've seen one. It was like a lot of people had spinning hubcaps, and they had that thing where you had an undercarriage light. So like the road under your vehicle glowed, which I actually thought was kind of cool. I liked that part better. Maybe it's the cyberpunk feel. The hubcaps always felt silly. Honestly, that sounds like an amazing physics demonstration. Thanks interfacing. What do you mean you confiscated them? A couple of weeks ago I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high. So you took his spinners? Mm-hmm. He nods. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. Isn't that corruption? I don't know, is it? The lieutenant looks back, stone-faced. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked them back. Did you want to put these spinners on your machine? No, that would be silly. He hesitates. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners. That would be outrageous. Yes, outrageously cool. He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark. Hey, I made Kim smile. I'm sorry you have to sell them because of me. As I said, they're useless anyway. I should have remembered I have these earlier. Said something about a pawn shop? Yes. There's one 100 meters south of here. I think it's called Roy's Nest or something. If I'm not mistaken, it should be open late. Items can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the items tab. You can pawn these items when talking to Roy. I wonder how how unanimously okay it is to sell these items to Roy, or if some of them could really bite you in the ass later. Thanks. I appreciate your help. The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners. Lieutenant saving my ass. I get the feeling that... Oop. Suggestion. Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Copo type? We'll get to this in a second. So, when I look at the situation, I think maybe that, like... Maybe you could have pulled this off. Maybe you could have gotten 130 real over the course of this day. And then, succeeded at today. Maybe Kim's here as a failsafe. Admittedly, I did not even remotely prioritize trying to, pay my rent. I was all focused on the mystery at hand and so on. There's a lot of balls in the air right now, and I was way more interested in solving the mystery and also just exploring. You know, I'm me. I'm sure you guys aren't shocked at my behavior. So I guess it's completely in character for me to lose track of time and suffer the consequences, because that's pretty much how it always goes anyway. But I do wonder how reasonable it was to fix the problem. In my defense a little bit, when he had the whole, like, walk your way back home memory thing in my head that we're waiting to process, I thought that was going to mean I was going to be able to go home and sleep there or something. But that eventually kind of went away. And then I just kind of got wrapped up in the mystery of the cursed house and all that, and the dice maker. So I was more interested in that than reacting to the fact that I had now realized that I was not going to be able to go home. Because it hurts. What's a Copo type? Copo type. Copotype. Copotype. Is this a real word or a video game world? Alright, when you Google Copotype, all the results say Disco Elysium, so I'm not going to go any further. So it's either made up or just most popularly used in this game. Wait, what are Copotypes? Oh, wait, there are Copotypes? Yes. Guess what's yours? Sorry, cop? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Cool cop? No. No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. I'm actually the sorry cop? Let's make it official then, shall we? Okay. You know what? Actually, I'm not. No, actually, I do apologize a lot. To be fair, I have a lot to be sorry for. This game kind of primes you to be sorry because of all the shit you did yesterday and the day before, apparently. Won't the other Copotypes be jealous? What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. Don't worry. Conceptualization. They'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual Copotype from sorry to anything. You can dual Copotype. Like dual classing from D&D. Okay, but what are the other Copotypes? Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Super Stellar, the Advanced Interesting Cop, Liquid Shadow Cop. But you're too sorry to say those things, so here we go. Liquid Shadow Cop. I guess it's Stealth Cop? Yeah. Advanced Interesting Cop. I'm sorry, Optin. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info, or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million bucks. What? That won't happen. That's what I thought. Didn't seem like it was gonna happen. I'm all out of slots, and I don't have any skill points to unlock them, but I want to do rigorous self-critique. -1 authority, embarrassment to the party. Aw. You're one sorry piece of shit. A cop penitent, a flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be groveling at the feet of a feudal lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself at a Mazovian show trial. Or ripping the flesh from your back with the cat of nine tails. Whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it was your own fault. Do it. Really criticize yourself. Who knows, you might uncover something of importance from your guilt-ridden past. Wow, they really went all in. Like, really dramatic about the whole thing. It's like, I'm just sorry because I fucked up a lot over the last couple days, because apparently drunk me, like, broke a bunch of shit and didn't do his job and threw all of his self-worth away and did a bunch of other not great things, so it's like, eh. Zoom out distance kind of doesn't matter, but endurance is kind of... I mean, +3 shivers is pretty good. That's a straight up stat bonus. Like, that's even better than a cap bonus. This lets speed give me psi, but I don't know if I want to use speed. And raising the cap of perception is pointless because it's already higher than that without being raised. So let's go ahead and forget along some way home. What? I didn't... Oh. Wow, these are a commitment, huh? I didn't realize that forgetting required a skill point. Because people were all like, you could just forget it, it's fine, just get rid of one and put the new one in. But the act of forgetting also requires a skill point? Shit. I didn't realize how locked in these things get. I knew the new slots require a skill point, but I figured that was... I was thinking that as more being like my bandwidth, essentially. Like, that's how many thoughts I can process at once. But no, these all affect my... These all, like, are big commitments that I have to forget with the skill point itself. Huh. Why would I forget one with a skill point when I can just learn a new slot with a skill point? I mean, eventually you run out of slots, but until I'm out of slots to learn, wouldn't I just get all of them? Like, if forgetting requires a point, it seems really pointless to forget one before I actually have all the slots open. Boom. Anyway, I gotta ask some more questions. The Radiant Spinners, price 200. Holy shit. The shot put ball, handkerchief. I don't want to sell those things. Those are nice things. Antique bell. Wow, these things are worthless. I mean, they're not worthless. They're worth that much. You can see the worth right there on the screen. But yeah, like these, like this thing's only worth like 3. Like that's the most valuable thing I found so far. I think is this 10 real cube, but that's also something that feels like it's important story stuff. Yeah, so this seems to be full of stuff I wouldn't want to sell. They'll sound like adventure game items that I'd have a use for. Although I think the use of the Radiant Spinners is to make me be able to sleep somewhere tonight. The magnificent hubcap spinners that Lieutenant Kisragi has donated to you so you can pay for your room at the Whirling. They are slate blue and shimmer hauntily in the light. At least intuitively, you would not expect these to come up again, but you never know. Maybe there's context where those will come up again. So take them to the pawn shop south of the plaza. Alright. So I've been trying to be very thorough, but we're gonna stop being thorough just for now, because I need to get to this pawn shop, and I'm running out of time before, like, the day ends. So, at this point, we're gonna stop poking around and just try to get to this place. And see if I can find it. But I straight up don't know where this pawn shop is. It's not the direction I went in today. Roy's pawn shop. Well, that was easy. First building I tried to the south. It really was right there, huh? Hey, Roy. How you doing? Are you a person or a statue? That's a statue. That's a bust. Oh, there's the person. Some kind of machine. An antique cash register? Welcome to the pawn shop. So he's one of those people that's... Yeah, it's one of those shops where they're behind glass. Never seen that before. Maybe it's because I'm not in the city and stuff like that. But I've been to a lot of pawn shops. I've never seen someone behind glass. But they always are in movies. But movies always take place in cities. Not always, obviously. But the pawn shops in movies always seem to be in cities. Mostly military wear. With a few more eccentric fashions thrown in. He keeps saying it over and over again. It's freaking me out. A bust of a woman. The plaque simply says DEI. In the dark, a film projector is whirring away. Maybe you'll find something cool. Those look like they're all toys. Knick-knack stand. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Huh. Let's look at the knights on horseback. Big men on big horses clad in laminar armor and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye. Who were they? Francongiere knights. He said. He looks at the dusty figurines in the dim light. I used to be very serious about these guys. Francoiserie? I don't know. French is fucked. It doesn't even resemble the same language, like the same letter system. Like they use all the same letters, but they don't use any of them the same way. Inspect the blue uniforms. They're not all blue. These figures also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They're variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets. These royalist soldiers? Which ones? The man peers from his glass box. Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like bright colors indiscriminately. The figures in rags. The set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks. Are these even soldiers? You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? The man behind the glass answers. Yes, they are soldiers. Revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they would possibly win. And yet they did. Well, you know, drama and all that. It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it. Maybe. Says Bird's Nest Roy. I don't know what his voice sounds like yet. Well, let's find a cool figurine. With my awesome hands that never fail unless I crit fail. Why, what's this? A headless man riding a horse. A headless man riding a futuristic tracksuit trousers. A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say fawn. What's this? Oh, that's the Headless Fawn Rider. Headless Fawn Rider? Who? The Headless Fawn Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you can see, he's missing his head. He points at the decapitated figurine. 50 cents, bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it or something. That's part of the story, has many interpretations. Logic. He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head. Okay, I'll buy it. Why not? Purchase the Headless Fawn Rider and his cap. Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry with you. He grins. Step away from the table. I'm gonna hope that it means something. Rhetoric. Hey. Tss. Who, me? Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. Hey kids, you want some communism? How come there's word on the street? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale old people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs, that kind of stuff. I have said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those. Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence, don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind. So this is where we get into some of this stuff, right? These hints that there's something going on over here. It's like you seem to be getting kind of communist-y, as opposed to like, wow, yeah, looking at these other options, I'm like, I'll take communist. Jesus. Would you like, do you want to be a fascist? You really want to be a fascist? Oh God, why? Everyone can see it, so tell me, do you have any question before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it? Wait, what's this communism even about? Failure. It's about failure. Failure? Yes, about abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped, and pissed on until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class, towering city blocks and bank men who have the ears of prime ministers, million-headed armies of nations, and the love of your own mother. You, against the atom, the charm, the spin, when the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Oh, this game's fascinating. Oh, the writing is incredible. Now get to work, comrade. Roll up your sleeves and start building communism. Opt in. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Wait, firing squads? You didn't say anything about those. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few million eggs. Oh boy. Roll your sleeves up further and breathe in the pristine air. Oh no. You didn't say anything about firing squads? You fool. What is this? Oh, -2 visual calculus for Mazovian socioeconomics. So this game's testing me. I'm making various choices and it's figuring out what bucket to put the character in that I'm playing. That's interesting. 3 hours. People think communism was some crazy idea that had its own comeuppance 40 years ago. A fever that shook the world never to return again. They were right, until he woke up today, a spiritual corpse responsive only to the call of Commodore Red, prostitutes, and Krasmazov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly raise the commune of O2 from the oceanic trench where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Come, witness his attempt to build communism in the year 51. Welcome to the pawn shop. Hello.
It's not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop.
Oh, he sounds like Ringo, but raspy. I was way off. The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
He asks. Empathy. His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop. Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately, RCM or otherwise.
He's like on his way to sounding like Salad Fingers.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored.
How did you manage to have sunglasses that look sad?
As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Press your fingers to your lips. Oh, like chef kiss? Is that what we're doing? Like, are we saying some of our selections are more tasteful than others within the shop or versus other people's shops? Huh. Quite a collection. I may have something to add to it.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the walls behind you. Composure. He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe? Is Roy high, and if yet, what is he on? It's not in quotes, so I don't think I'm talking to him. I think I'm just, like, flexing my brain and failing. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides, but you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues. There's something I'd like to sell. Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps. The lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners. Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pun shop. Pun shop, I accidentally said. Interfacing. Gone forever. Oh no, my poor over-focused hand touchy skill is going to be freaking out every time I sell something, isn't it? Maybe it's just that one because it could go in a car. Or it might be every time I sell anything. Because it just doesn't want to lose things. He marvels at the cobalt shimmer and nods. Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mask banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real. No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you. The lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash. Of course. I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again. Thank you. He takes the cash, then turns to you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it. The rest goes in his pocket. I don't know why I didn't expect the rest of the money to go in his pocket. I should have expected that. It's his item. But I was like, ooh, that's almost 2 nights. I'm a little worried because these nights, this clock keeps on ticking. I'm a little spooked by how much it cost me for. Oh, but that was for the damages. So a normal night should cost less than it cost me for all the damages. So that might be more affordable in the future, hopefully. Rhetoric. The rest is for him to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Both the lieutenant and the pawnbroker turn to you. I'd like to sell my clothes. Distressing. Tell him a photo of a... Oh, I could show him the photo to see if... I don't want to sell it to him, but maybe he could identify the tattoos? Because he sees weird shit in art all the day? I have a fascinating photo of a corpse here. Oh, no. I don't like these kinds of objects. No sale. He barely even looks at it. Do you know what the tattoos mean? He frowns. Aphotic paths? Counter-radiance networks? Anti-magnetism? It's darkness, that's all I know. Sell me something lighter. You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos on the man are not that. What does the word aphotic mean? Ah, no! First result is a terrifying giant squid picture. That's not a good sign. The aphotic zone is the portion of a lake or ocean where there is little or no sunlight. Oh, like aphotic zone. I don't know if it's pronounced that or not. It might be pronounced that way, actually. But A is often means no or anti or opposite or whatever, and photic would mean photons, which is what makes up light. So it's the aphotic zone. Got it. It is formally defined as the depths beyond which less than 1% of sunlight penetrates. Consequently, bioluminescence is essentially the only light found in the zone. Yeah, it's the terrifying place where bad things happen. Where you see giant squids and weird translucent glowy fish and the parts of the ocean I very much don't want to get to in Subnautica, but we found a way. Ooh, no regrets here or anything. Ha ha ha. I don't have anything to sell at the moment. Another time, perhaps. You might be able to aid in our investigation. I doubt it, but I can try to answer any questions you may have. Know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep my distance from all matters of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone. He doesn't know anything. You think you can help me get a corpse out of a tree? The corpse behind the hostel, I assume. He looks into the swirling lights, then to you. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself. Ask around the harbor. There might be some workers there who'd be willing to help. Oh, that's all I've got. By the way, do you happen to have any guns? Nah. We don't need guns. What's up there? Shelf of boomboxes. The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented. They stare at you with the unblinking eyes of the tape reels. Stand up on the tips of your toes to see more. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with the old handle on top. a classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. Just make sure it works before you buy it. I don't really want the machine. Getting the machine's probably a bad idea, but this might be where I go to get the music I need for my karaoke. If I'd want to commit to that, people will be mad at me. Shopkeep, the Stereo 8 approved machine here. There's the Harman Wowshi W02, made of Vesper, designed in Seoul, he says. Plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. I'll sell it to you for 12 real. It's to keep in mind if I need a boombox. I don't know if I need one, though. Sing karaoke. Get a hold of a sad song on tape. I think they already have a radio there, don't they? Oh, I need to play the tragic tape on a boombox to memorize the lyrics. Dude, it's a process to sing karaoke. Are you sure this is all in working order? Absolutely. I tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds, and music from a variety of genres, even though, he grimaces, I don't really like music. That's odd. Why doesn't he like music? Don't like music? What do you like then? The stuff I record myself, silverware shaken in drawers, as motorcars race by, nocturnal animals climbing on the roof, airship rotors, that kind of thing. Maybe you should ditch music as well. Get into more experimental sounds he's describing. What I really want to know is, could this device come in handy in my police work? If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you need to play a tape. I probably want this, but I'm probably gonna wait. I just know that it's here. It costs me like half of my current money. I'm already subtracting the 130. I only have 20, so let's not be too hasty. At least wait for the requirement to show up. I think the only tape I have is an empty one, so that's not helpful. What's this? A sawed-off streetlight. Typical Martini streetlight sits among assorted floor and lamp lights. Is that a streetlight? Yes, officer. As you can see, it's in perfectly working order. You would think that you wouldn't be willing to buy chunks of public property, because it's very clearly there's like plausible deniability to the general ecosystem of like objects that get stolen then sold at pawn shops. Like, you don't know which stuff's being stolen and which stuff's just genuinely being sold to a pawn shop. But when it's like public art that's part of the city infrastructure, I feel like at that point it's like, this is clearly illegal. Bosier. His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know he has nothing to hide. Well, yeah, because I already found a streetlight. Where'd you get this? It was brought to me to be altered. He leans in with the pawnbroker, so the pawnbroker wouldn't hear him. We're not here to investigate the theft of city property. He pauses, studying the light, then adds, you have to admit it's rather clever, what he's done with it. It looks neat. Let your gaze run over the streetlight. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly but persistently. Conceptualization. This would make quite a statement in your living room. It's not my living room, though. It's a place that I have to pay, like, tons of real every day for. I mean, I guess I could take it to my living room. I live somewhere, don't I? I hope. How much for the streetlight? 700 real. A bargain, I dare say. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep. There's also the matter of rewiring. but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago. Huh. Morphological... So he's getting like metaphysical about the value, being all like, well, I placed it with a bunch of indoor objects and that changed its morphological field, increasing its value. I'm like, excuse me, sir? There's nothing else I need to know about this light. I definitely don't have 700 real. I don't know if you even can get 700 real in this game. Maybe. Maybe someday. Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah? Oh yeah. The print depicts a muscled man striding towards you, a giant sword in each hand encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the world's Hamdall burning. Goddamn this place. Sniff the shirt? What? Smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there? Fucking wash? Ugh. Worn cotton with the side of flea market or trash bin. Sniffing's okay, says the shopkeep, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your Fozon emissions in the fabric of things that you're not going to buy. Okay, so he's a little weird. His weird's coming out. I guess I can see why you'd want to sniff thrift store clothing a little bit, because you're worried about like the condition maybe of like what, like worried about whether it's been washed at all, for example. That's a rad Man of Hemdall t-shirt you got there. Hell yeah, man. The shopkeep sounds enthusiastic. I don't usually carry printed tees, but this one was just such a pure exemplar. You must be a serious Man of Hemdall fan. A fan? No. I wouldn't go that far. But I do think the Hemdallerman saga is an integral part of our shared reality. Yeah, he's not a fan, he just fucking worships it. Most people don't think that the man from Hemdall really existed, but they're wrong. What did you mean, man from Hemdall is real? I mean, even if the man from Hemdall didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple reality. What, like Wolf Among Us? Fables? Like enough shared consensus about a thing makes it actually manifest? Okay. He sounds incredulous. You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect. Besides, I've been to Katla, though not quite as far north as the Hemdall, and watched the northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique energetic tides there. That doesn't really mean anything, but okay. Encyclopedia. It's for the best, because Hemdall is not a real place, and thus he could not have gone there. Conceptualization. His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural activity. Interesting. How much are you selling the shirt for? 2 real. Lieutenant raises his eyebrows. That's Dutch cheap. Couldn't you give it to me for free then? Don't be a weird dick. Cool, I'll think about it. -2 authority because you look like that. I mean, my authority can't get lower. I don't think... I mean, it can get lower, it'd become more negative, but I don't know if a negative number even gets worse over time or not. I don't know, I'm not really much of an authority type. But physical instrument and shivers going higher would be nice. Shivers would be at a 5, which is really interesting, actually. Okay. I've thought it over and I want to buy the shirt. Welcome to Hemdall, officer. I'm becoming a professional. Oh, right, I should have compared against the shirt, though. So I lose a point of conceptualization. But I gain a few other things. It's probably still worth it. Oh my god, the color, though. The plastic headless fallen rider sits atop his equally plastic bull, his posture indicating either depression or pride. Comes as a set of with the infamous fallen cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. The cap is why he lost his head? So he's wearing like modern clothes, unlike the headless horseman and stuff like that. Like he looks like he's wearing like jeans. Well, he's wearing fallen pants, I guess, and he's got a fallen cap. It's all modern stuff-ish. That's a giant boner. Kind of just went right past that. I'm like, hang on a minute. The bull just has a giant boner right now. That's just a detail that none of the description brings that up, and that my character didn't even remark upon that. But there's just a whole lot of dick on the screen right now. The man of Heimdall standing in front of a burning village, dual-wielding his ever-present Zweihanders. His muscles look ready to burst out of the two-dimensional print and into your three-dimensional life. You mean I can't say it. It's too stupid. Welcome to the pawn shop. I guess that's it. Well, this was eventful. This was today's experience, was the pawn shop. And it is, yeah, it's about 11. About time for us to get the hell out of here. So I've now gone this far. So we started here, I went up there, zooped back around to there, then to here, then to there and there. Haven't been to the boat yet, but aside from that, I've been like everywhere on this chunk of the map, which is some good progress. I haven't been past the gate, obviously. But the boat, yeah, the boat's one of my goals still. Other than that, we're ready to go further in. Maybe I'll spend the next day here and the next day here or something. I don't know. I don't know how many days I can keep up with paying for this place. Those are fed. An ancient fountain. It doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. Some great tectonic forces cracked the pavement like an eggshell. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. Still, they said that I technically have until like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that to go to sleep, so... You know what? Maybe I will check to see if that lady is still by that boat. Oh, I still gotta go down here too. Might as well make the most of our day, right? But if I still have technically like an hour or two left, I could poke around a little bit. What's over here? 500 real. Or more drugs. Man, drugs are easy to find. Dock reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain 33A. Your room in the whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. Yes, it is. What? I've seen my room. It's way bigger than this place. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Yeah, it's probably about right. Joyce Messier. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. She even talks like it. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines. Joyce L? What's the L stand for?
Leighton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold. Interfacing. Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Right, he's reminding me to act weird, to throw her off center so she can be more helpful in her information by not hiding as much. There's a trace of irony in his voice, mischief even. This is a tactic. It happens quicker than a shooting star, but did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Alright, so be a weird idiot. You seem rich, can I have some money? That would be a little bit like that. You're on a boat. Why, yes, I am. She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Of course there are. She looks around. We are on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Wait, we're on an archipelago? Yes, we are. She raises an eyebrow. We are on Le Caillou. Le Caillou? Oh. Encyclopedia. Technically, the neighboring Auzon and Face à la Mer islands groups are archipelagos, while Le Caillou, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the 4th largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago. Wait, I thought Le Caillou was one big island. Okay, she gives you a crooked smile. If you want to get technical, the point is we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike. Still, haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Canimas motor carriage either. Have you seen it already? Actually, Lieutenant becomes defensive. That motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Rivachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy. Neither is this. The woman pats the cabin hardtop. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands. Rhetoric. You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around this boat because she's rich. Yes, I do. Before you do, it would be pertinent to ask other questions, gather more information on this boat of hers. Going for the kill? Does she have a name? The boat? No. It is called Corps de Light 19, because that's the type of sloop it is. Okay, but what kind of boat is it? It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing, though these days I mainly use it for business. Okay. How do you like it? My sloop? I like it a lot. Her lips curl into a wry smile. It's the eel's hips, baby. What? Alright, Googling. Eel's hips. Has anyone in the history of the world ever said this? 59 more slang phrases from the 1920s we should start using again. Alright. The eel's hips, the trout's ankles, the cat's pajamas. It's real. It's not just a random thing. That's funny. Do you have a license for this boat? Officer, I assure you I am a highly qualified pleasure craft operator. The crowns in her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Encyclopedia. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly fox. You're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this. Let's talk about the economics of the boat you're in. Oh my, the E word. She crosses her arms. You mean to say it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption, that I'm a member of the ruling class? Class wartime, baby. Yes, exactly. Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator. He doesn't look like he thinks you'll be able to beat her in single combat. You said to fuck with her. Then what does that say? She points to the plaque on the side of the pier. Does it say, docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint Ghislaine 33A? 33A. This old proletarian haunt here. She waves at the ruin looming overhead. As I said, plenty of people drive boats of all social strata. Fire back quick. Boom. Your synapses flash with my mega reaction speed. This house was built before the revolution. Okay, it is anti-centennial. She looks at the building looming overhead. The people who live there now lead a different lifestyle, if you know what I mean. I assure you, they drove quite a hard bargain for this space, but you're right. I am a bourgeois woman, a bougie bitch, and this is my last lightweight, fucking... these sentences are a mouthful. I am a bourgeois woman, and this is my fast, lightweight, interminably bourgeois boat. I think I have a handle on the boat thing. Good. She takes a sip of her thermal cup. Okay. Well, we had some fun. That seems to have been a cul-de-sac, and she seems not all that bothered by it anyway. It's just some jousting. You seem smart. I need someone to give me the lowdown on this reality we're in. This reality? She pulls her hood closer around her neck. Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case. I'm conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in. How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective. My theory is that this inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately converge on our murder investigation. They are really one and the same. Are they now? The lieutenant cocks one eyebrow. A deep synthesis, she nods. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead, ask. Alright, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay? Begin with the first? Where are we? What about these other options that I will just not succeed at? Fuck. Holy shit, I'm that bad at... Would I have a conceptualization? What? Yeah, I guess that's what impossible means. A ranking of 20, impossible. I guess that would be, yeah, that would do that. I was gonna say I'm good at conceptualization, but that's why it's impossible. Legendary was only a 14, so impossible's a 20. I'm already bad at this one though. Where are we? We're in Martinez, baby. Baby. A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed. I'm a disco holdover myself. Ha! She smiles. Aren't we all? To your first year's your corresponding ages. Mm-hmm. And what is Martinez? Martinez is a district of Revachol. Revachol. I'll never get it right. Revachol. It was Revachol, right? She looks around, her green raincoat flapping in the wind. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbor, north of the 881 in Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the revolution. She shrugs. It has its charms, just not this time of year. You mentioned the sea. What sea is this? It's not really a sea. It's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean. Are we near the ocean? Yes, we are on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic. Known to early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues. The blue immensities. Oh, actually, oh yeah, immensities, yeah. I'm more familiar with that word than I was ready for. Whatever that means. Tell me more about Martinez. Martinez. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. She closes her eyes. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. She opens them. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets. What's the name of this island? Kailu, as you already know. She looks to the waters. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks of the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributory. Empathy. It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her. And to humanity at large. I love that the parts of my brain can respond to each other. Like, that there's chains there. It's like the thing where I would get impressed when, you'd be walking around with your 2 or 3 party members in a Dragon Age game, and they would start talking to each other just at random, which was always cool. It's like, oh, they made individual conversations for all the different combinations of party members. But then, every once in a while, in a crazy happenstance, the 3rd party member would also respond to part of the conversation, and I'm like, oh, they specifically did this one-on-one conversation and were ready for a hook in for the 3rd party member to say something if they happened to be there, which was extra unlikely. Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city. What kind of city is Revachol? The great kind. What makes Revachol great? History, detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries. Okay, who built the city? The nations of the Occident. Our migrant workers from Semenine and Ilamara, depending on your creed. When was Revachol built? In the DeLorean century, 380 years ago. And why will it resolve history? They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that, I mean conflicts, ideological conflicts, the stuff of men. Why here? We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The world's connective tissue, she smiles. It's where the money is. So pretty much the center of the world. Oh, we're quite a way off, about... She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise. Perception. A sparkle of light on the horizon, like evening stars above the curvature of the planet. 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the Bank of the World building. The bottom floors are Insercom, Coalition Government, Insuldian Mission Command. Look at the sea. Silence. She lowers her hand. The water. The light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea, and the cold radiating from it. Where are we? Another thought? Oh god. Derealization. Jamais vu. Revachol Special Administration Region, Le Kailu, the Insulindian Ocean, Coalition Government, Insulindian Mission Command, name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid, looking at stickers on the fridge. Trouvant, the Apricot Company, World Games 34. You could almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corners, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts. The one you truly must complete. I wonder if I need to do this one first then. Oh, cool, creepy Junji Ito looking ring of masks that looks like that guy with a fucking infinite head. The centipede head. Well, we've definitely got populated in this little category here. I need to do some leveling so I can actually do any of these. Admittedly, leveling to do these is more exciting to me than being like, I don't know, +1 to something. Maybe it'll lead to a different outcome. It's hard to appreciate. This is a really cool screen, but there's so much to it, and you make such slow progress one point at a time that it's just really hard to really feel what you're doing, even though you want to. You kind of inherently want to get more points all over the place. Get a reality lowdown. Joyce is rich and willing to answer your questions. Ask one. We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately. She watches you closely as you scan the horizon. This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you? Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown. This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask. He turns to you. About even more fundamental aspects of reality. Hey. So he seems to be encouraging me. Oh, never mind. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Madame Messier will be here later, too. And tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am? Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term. She says commitment, but it's hard not to think that inherently there's kind of a standoffishness to the fact that she's come here to resolve a problem, but she's not from here, and she's staying on her boat on the dock. So she doesn't, it's almost like she doesn't want to set foot in this area, like it'll dirty her. On some level, there's the logistical, like, element of, like, somebody has to, like, keep an eye on this boat because it seems really expensive. Someone might just try to take it. So that's a bit of a concern. Almost like she should have a guard. Because she'd be worried about her prized possession going off. But also, it doesn't seem like she's interested in actually setting foot in this city. I don't think that it's unintended that she's kind of floating over here and not planning on moving so far. You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later. He nods. It's better not to eat all of your candy at once. That's what you say. Alright, we'll take a little break, and I'll come back next episode to get back to the investigation, because we're going to be talking to her for a while.